All right, so when you think of the 70s, the decade of the 70s, what are some visuals that come to mind?
Long hair, hairy chest, and hairy back.
Really?
And
bad clothes.
Yeah, bad clothes. Although it came back, I mean, it made a resurgence. It still is with the mom jeans and the bell bottom. But that and among women, like braless, somewhat braless.
All right.
Maybe that's 60s. No.
This is Woodstock.
And 70s also bad hair, bad clothes, hairy back, hairy chest.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned hair. A pair of anchors from a Little Rock-based station quickly suspended two of their white news anchors. Did you see the picture?
No, you just showed it to me. I mean, I haven't seen it before, yeah.
They were celebrating temperatures dipping into the 70s. After a sweltering, weeks-long heat wave, Arkansas KTV anchor Chris May and meteorologist Barry Brandt came on television wearing afro wigs.
Oh, okay, don't do that.
The viewer reception was quite chilly. They were suspended immediately. Swift action was important to hold the responsible parties accountable. Hold on, because I've got.
It gets worse.
No. This is pretty funny. The two white news anchors canned their boss after the broadcasters wore the African American style hairpieces during an evening weather report, which aired at 10 on September 16th. During the inflammatory segment dubbed "Return to the 70s."
Okay.
May and Brandt sported wigs modeled after afros, a hairstyle popular nearly 5 decades ago. The Arkansas Times reported May later shared a Twitter photo of the controversial play, which has since been deleted. The fraught forecast caught the attention of American African activist Dr. Annika Whitfield, who issued a complaint to WATV in which she wrote that the stunt was a perpetuation of a systematic racism to have a European American man wear an afro wig. Mm-hmm. It goes on and on and on. And again, there's a white host that's on here that is actually smiling. And here's the picture.
Looks like an SNL skit.
It does. And so
it's interesting because there were a lot of men in the 70s.
We got a million ways we can go on this because I don't think it was in good taste.
It was.
I don't know if it's a fireable move. Well, here's the deal, because white people had afros in the 70s, too.
So we got to be careful about saying afros.
Here's the difference. First of all, what's your intention? We're not making fun of let's just say that he did it because black people were afros, but there were white people that had afros,
but it's
too.
It's not afros, right? So I think that's the thing, is there were a lot of white men, let's use white men, who have curly hair, who grew their hair out, and it grew out into that. Yep. That's different than a black man whose hair is different, growing it out the same way.
Yeah,
it's different. I mean, and
it's called an afro.
Yeah.
My point being is
think why don't people think like even I can get come out in polyester low cut, right, silk shirt.
Yeah.
Be careful with the chains, right? And come out in that.
Or you could have been dressed as the Village People. There's a lot of different ways you could have gone with the 70s. Maybe the afro wigs are found in a costume closet or something, a TV station. I don't know. They obviously thought about it enough to do it on television and then post the picture. And I don't know either one of these guys, and I don't know if they're racist. I don't want to think that their intention was obviously racism, but it was a return to the 70s,
right? And
a lot of people had afros, including white people in the 70s. And again, I'm not saying it was a smart choice.
It was a stupid choice.
I think in hindsight, and then as soon as an activist chimes in, if they hadn't gotten the complaint, I don't know if it would have been pulled off or not. And so I started going through. Yesterday was National Taco Day.
Yeah, I know. I had to let my kids know because they thought it was today.
So last night, and Jamie, one of our producers here, made a video of some tacos. So last night, I wore a sombrero.
Oh, you can't do that.
Why not?
I'm kidding.
When I go to a Mexican restaurant and it's a birthday, they put a flipping sombrero in the middle of the table and you dance around it. You dance around the sombrero. I'm celebrating the Latino heritage.
Yeah, well,
and I was celebrating yesterday, and I spoke Spanish.
Well, that's
because
fine.
I took Spanish.
Well, you spoke,
and there was no ill intent towards the Mexican.
But where did you do this? In your house, to your kids, or did you get on national TV and do it?
I would have posted.
But you didn't. Why didn't you?
Because I was too tired.
Oh.
But I would have. I would have posted a Twitter thing of me wearing a sombrero.
Would you have thought about it twice though before doing it?
No.
Really?
Not well. First of all, I have 2 Latinos in my house.
Well, so you have
If I had 2 little black kids, I would wear an afro.
To symbolize what? The 70s?
Return to the 70s. If I didn't have any, because, well, I probably do have some clothes that look like this. My point being is, I don't think there was any ill intent here.
No, I don't think there was ill intent.
And I think if you're celebrating, they weren't celebrating or lack thereof celebrating an ethnicity or a culture or even a heritage or a skin type. They were celebrating a decade. And in that decade, afros, it was probably the only decade where afros, that's one of the top.
What she's saying is, listen, and I think this is important because this is where we as white people get this wrong all the time. She's saying as an activist that, well, she just said it. She said it in here.
Yeah.
That intent or not, this is the segment where they're getting their uniforms for the first time and they're making sure that their breasts don't pop out of the uniform.
Yes.
So they have to measure it and they got to tuck everything in. We've seen this one every week. I'm just letting you know.
What are you talking about? Are we talking about afros or talking
No, I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, which you make me watch every single day.
See it.
But I'm going to tell you for radio that they're now the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are tucking their breasts into their uniforms, which this episode runs every day at this time. Okay? And they're making sure that everything is tight and right.
These are different girls, by the way.
No, it's not. It's the same thing. Anyway, so one of the things that she's saying is that intent or not, what their act is perpetuating the stereotype. And I think that that's really important because I think there's a lot of white folks who go, wait, I didn't mean to, I wasn't trying to. And that's not her. She's not saying you are racist. She's saying what you're doing is furthering that. And if you take it not as a adversarial, call for a fight, a lot of times what it's supposed to do is say, oh crap, I didn't realize that I was doing that. So if I said to you, I can't, but if I said to you, you wore your sombrero and you come on and somebody from the Latino community who was an activist said, we understand what he's doing, we appreciate, but it's really perpetuating the stereotype that of Hispanic Americans wearing sombreros all the time.
Then being me, I would apologize and say I'm sorry it wasn't intended that way, and then I take the hat off and move on.
It's
now
no big
these
deal.
guys have been suspended. I don't know.
Well, that's but again,
if there gets a groundswell behind this, they're going to get fired, and it's not a fireable offense to me because I don't think there was any ill intent. I think they were trying to be funny, and they even reposted the stuff, and everyone on the staff was laughing their what's off. Now I don't know if there's any black members on that staff or not. So it was funny from that standpoint, and again, if they were celebrating Black Lives Matter, I get it.
Yeah, but
they were celebrating a decade of the 70s where
easy ones, and that's why I think it's interesting because those
and
are.
That's
easy.
why I brought it up. Yeah.
Well, they should have just put hairy chests on. They should have just put fake hair. It would have been fine.
Funny thing is, if you go to a costume place,
I know.
for Halloween, you can. I went to one. Well, I went to one yesterday. Yeah. There was a whole row of Afro wigs. Not the rainbow ones, the ones you wear at now. Is that wrong to wear a rainbow? Because the rainbow Afro guys at every football game. He's white, and he's white dude.
Is he a supporter of LGBTQ? Does he know that?
No, you know what? That could be a slam on the LGBTQ plus.
Yes. I'll bet
the rainbow Afro dude has been showing up at football games since the 60s, and he's at every stinking game.
Does he realize that? Does he?
No, because his intent is that he's just a crazy guy.
Right.
He's just wearing an Afro wig. It started back in the 70s. So now, is that wrong? So we can't do that? I'm just asking. So we can't wear a rainbow Afro?
No, you can wear a rainbow because rainbow shows support. Rainbow shows
of
support.
What?
LGBTQ plus.
Well, it does, but that's not how it originally started.
What?
The Afro, the rainbow Afro thing was just a crazy dude wearing crazy hair.
Yeah, well now what he doesn't realize is now it's morphed into a sign of support.
Well, it's
so I
not.
hope he supports him because that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying is I hope he supports him because now That would
but
be
it's still an Afro wig. That's my point.
Oh,
My point is like we're gonna get Halloween is really, really, really interesting to me these days.
Yes,
because 10, 15 years ago
or more,
you could dress up as anything you really wanted. And now it's to the point where you want to have shock value. The sexy nurse, the SMN, the women dressed, and I always say there's 2 days of the year where women can wear whatever they want and pull it off. That is Halloween and New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
They look classy New Year's Eve. They're sexy in Halloween. Maybe it shows a deviant underbelly of their characterizations that, I never even knew she was like that. And you see women in the office.
Deviant.
Well, it's deviant if you have somebody that you work with every day and she's dressed to the nines and all of a sudden she shows up as a sexy nurse at a Halloween party.
No,
You're
it's
I
an
never knew.
alternative part of her personality. It doesn't make it deviant.
Oh, it could be deviant.
It's not. It could be, but it's not deviant.
She's hanging out in bars with Urban Meyer. But
right,
now,
right.
so you got to be careful. Now, again, if you're an adult Halloween party,
right,
and you're going as a character from the 70s,
yes,
I'm wearing the silk shirt, I'm wearing the Afro wig,
that's right,
and I'm wearing the bell bottoms and the ugly shoes.
You're probably not.
And I got my shirt undressed,
but you're probably not getting anything because it's context. It's context. You're not on whatever this is, local news.
True.
Right, just wearing, and I as far as I can tell, all they did was put on the wig. See, again, don't be a dumbass.
Yeah.
This is the dumbass factor. You're about to go out there. You're not thinking. So you're not, it's not intending to be racist. You put a wig on, and as far as I can see, there's nothing else other than the wig. They didn't change their outfit. They don't have a big wide tie. You could have done a silk shirt and a wide tie, put the thing on, or go the chains. You could have done the John Travolta kind of thing.
The easy thing they could have done is just played a music bed.
And played disco on the big
Played
bed.
disco behind their weather forecast.
But what they did was misinterpreted. And so the activist is like, look, I don't know what your intent was, but when I see that, and when I'm saying that, it's only a wig. They didn't do anything else. They didn't do anything else to let you know that this was a white guy trying to be a white 70s guy.
I do wish we'd check it back just a little bit in a case like this. And again, I don't know these guys. Check it back just a little bit and say, okay, we made a mistake here. You're suspended for a week, and we bring you back. But now we've gotten to the point where everyone just loads up, hops on, and these guys will lose their jobs.
Well, because the TV manager,
and they shouldn't lose their job.
But think about the GM.
Yeah.
The GM's going, look, what you all did alienated I don't know what the demographic is of their viewership.
Yeah.
But again, just think about it as business. If you're the GM and you got all these complaints,
and they fired the boss.
Oh.
They suspended the 2 white news anchors and canned the boss, it says, after the broadcasters wore the African American style hairpieces.
So the boss is just going to be like pissed.
Yeah. After receiving no response, the fraught forecast caught the attention of African-American activist Annika Whitfield, which she got no response. Whitfield reached out to John Siebers, a Sinclair broadcast group vice president, group manager in charge of local stations at Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, issued the following apology. We apologize to our viewers who are rightfully offended by the segment. We promise to enact and enforce new measures to prevent future incidents from occurring.
And now he's going, you know what? That was a dumbass move.
Those 2 guys have worked at the station for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
again, we live in, and here's the other thing. And I've said this before. You can either whine and cry and moan and groan about, well, times are different now. I remember when we used to be able to dress this up.
Sure.
Yes, times are different. So
right.
you either get to, the train is out of station, so you either get to come along with us, or you can sit back there and whine and bitch and complain, and you'll get yourself fired.
Yeah.
Your choice.
All right, talk about one of our great, we got a lot to get into today.
Yes, we got to hurry. Go.
We talked about this segment about a week ago about women and why women wear what they wear to look nice for other women and to look nice for their men. Well, now we have a woman who wore something on a date and it almost killed her. And despite the fact that she was very uncomfortable for 8 hours, she said, I wanted to look impressive for my boyfriend. I felt really good in what I looked at, but it was incredibly painful.
It almost killed her?
Oh, my God. We'll talk about that story. And again, I don't understand. I told my daughter today, she's 9 years old. She missed the bus, and so because the bus driver never showed up, and I'm driving her to school, and I said, listen, do me a favor. I said, don't ever wear something that's uncomfortable to you to impress somebody else. If you're not comfortable in it or you don't have to wear it. She goes, what about heels? I said, if you can work in a business where you don't have to wear heels, don't scrunch your toes in there.
No, it's just so funny.
Or don't wear,
your daughter's 9. I love these.
She's wearing a bikini and she doesn't feel comfortable. I said, don't wear a bikini, then wear a one piece. Can I?
You talked about Spanx yet?
No. I said, don't wear something. Don't dress to impress. Don't dress for other girls, and certainly don't do it for a guy, because we appreciate a woman in a short skirt and wearing 8-inch pumps. We love that.
Did
and
you
that's
tell
great.
her that?
But if it's going to scrunch your feet up and give you corns and stuff, don't do that for us. Yeah, I did.
I cannot wait till she's like 12,